Hi, I'm Bill.
I'm Laurie.
And if this is the first time dropping into the channel, welcome. Well, tonight we've decided to cook a steak. What kind of steak do we have?
We have a New York strip.
And for our oven, we're using our new Changemore 13-inch wood pellet outdoor pizza oven. We previously seared a steak in the original 12-inch Changemore outdoor pizza oven, which we had sous vide first, and then we just did searing. In this, we're going to cook the steak from scratch, I guess, in a sense, right?
Yes. And so this is like a little more than an inch, maybe an inch and a half New York strip. And we've brought it to room temperature. I already seasoned it with some Montreal seasoning, which is our favorite, and a little bit of avocado oil, because it has a high smoke point.
And I've been heating the Changemore up for about 30 minutes now. We have our 9-inch cast iron pan in there. That's what we're going to use tonight. I'm trying to keep the temperature between 4 and 500 degrees. We don't want it necessarily too hot, so that's what we're going to work with. And tonight I'm using our Eric Hill Rook 600 SP. It's available on Amazon. We'll have a link in the video description. It's a nice infrared thermometer. The one we had previously only went up to 739 degrees. This goes up to 1,112 degrees and feels really good in the hands. All right, so let's see here. We're going to do a couple things. I think the first thing we're going to do is, since we're working with cast iron, we're going to use some welder's gloves.
They're very reasonably priced, and we got these at Home Depot.
All right, and before you put the steak in, let me just take a temperature on that.
Okay.
And the pan is at 500 degrees right now.
Okay.
All yours.
Okay. So I'm going to add a little bit more oil. And we're just trying this 500. Maybe we have to make it hotter the next time.
And I'm just going to feed a little bit of hickory wood pellets in from time to time. Okay, well, we're getting some sizzle.
Yeah. Now I think that sometimes we have it even more sizzly. Do you think?
We may have, but again, I think it's about learning.
How to
this is a new outdoor pizza oven for us. It's wood fired. I'm using a little bit of charcoal tonight as well, along with hickory wood pellets. So it's a learning process. Maybe I should have brought it up more to 700 degrees to heat up the cast iron. So, but you might want to see if it'll release and at least get a little sear on the other side.
Yeah, no, it's, maybe we just put it in and
Okay.
get it in. We really like this cast iron pan because it has a little handle. It makes it easy to rotate, and it's a little bit lighter than some cast irons, and it's very easy to clean.
We also have a, I guess maybe call this a 12-inch Lodge pan, and it will fit in the 13-inch Changemore, but then I'm basically working with these welder gloves to take it in and out. And now, what do we do?
Oh, I guess we're gonna.
How long we're gonna leave it in there?
Oh, I would say we're gonna leave it in there for about 4 minutes.
4 minutes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't want to see if it's going to release, and okay, you're cooking this one. So we did a couple pizzas last night. We did one in the new 13-inch change more as well as the old 12-inch change more. So that video should be up by the time you see this. And we will put a link to the video that we made several months ago where we seared a steak in the 12-inch change more. It turned out very nice. And again, we had previously sous vide it. So it's a little different than what we're doing here tonight.
So what's the exterior, what does the thermometer say?
The thermometer says we're about 460 degrees. You want to take a look at it?
Okay.
Yeah, I think maybe be a little bit cautious. See if it'll release.
No, it's not.
Oh, you sure?
Yeah, when it releases, it just picks up.
Okay, let me put a little bit more wood. Again, we're being conservative here, or at least I am. Laurie likes to cook with high heat. I'm not as adventurous. The other variable is I'm using hickory. When we do the pizzas, we've been using oak.
Oh, hickory. Does it give more smoky flavor?
I don't know if it gives more smoky flavor, but I don't believe it burns as hot as oak.
Oh,
So,
I see.
yeah. So, you know, again, it's a learning process when you get a new appliance in a sense. So we'll figure it out as we go along. And
So if we looked inside, would the smoke be coming over the top?
I think with the door closed, it will not. But if we take the, well, I guess it was coming over the top, even with the door closed. And maybe that's where this venting comes. You want to take another shot at seeing if it'll release?
Okay.
Okay, where do
I usually don't turn the steak until it releases from either the grate if we're barbecuing or.
Now careful, it's very hot, as you know.
Yeah, see, still not really. It's almost. Ooh.
So Laurie and I were looking at videos we've made over the past 2 years, just a little while ago, and I think our first cooking video in our other outdoor pizza oven had 90,000 views, and part of the reason was because the steak caught on fire. So we were cooking a fatty ribeye, and it was our first experience with an outdoor pizza oven, and
the steak was really fatty.
yeah. Good thing was nothing burnt down, so that's good. Okay, so
Let's.
clearly a fail on my part for not getting the oven hot enough. So I'll take the hit.
Okay, let's turn it. I think it's been 4 minutes.
Well, the sear's coming together nicely, though, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's got a big piece of fat on it, huh?
Yeah.
We could have trimmed that off, I guess, huh?
Well, we'll kind of roast it on the side.
Yeah. So. All right. So the one thing about the door is it's managing to keep the heat up a little bit. So I had some experience when I was much younger working a commercial broiler as grilling steaks and those type of things. And I believe the temperature of that broiler was in the 550 Fahrenheit range. So that's why I kind of started, first time with this oven around 500. I thought might be appropriate. And also your cast iron. They say one way, if you think your pizza stone is too hot, you can put a piece of cast iron in there and it will suck up that heat off that stone, so you can lower the temperature of the stone quickly. So, all right. So what are we going to go another 4 minutes there?
Yeah, well, usually when you make a steak on a stove, you form the crust on the outside and then you roast it between 450 500 degrees, as hot as your oven will go. And so we're going to shoot for an internal temperature of about 130.
Right, and to keep the video from not going too long, since we kind of guessed wrong about temperatures and that, we may edit out some parts to reduce the overall length, but we promise we won't edit out anything where we have a major fail or anything like that. With this channel, you get the good with the bad, and so we're going to stay committed to that. But while we have a moment, and Laurie says I don't have to do anything, this is the Eric Hill Rook SP 600, available on Amazon, about $20. Again, we'll have a link in the description. And
That's a very reasonable price.
it's a great price. And I do think, if you're doing one pizza, maybe you don't need it, but when you're doing multiple pizzas and you're doing a cook like this, I think you want an infrared thermometer to help guide you.
Because you need to really reheat your stone in between making
when you do
several
multiple pizzas, yeah. What do you think? Take a look?
Well, every time you take the door off, it kind of releases.
Yeah, well,
the heat.
I kind of like to flip the steak, but maybe since it's in an oven, it's cooking equally from both sides. And now we're up about 600 degrees, so we're going hotter. And are we going to use your temperature?
Yeah.
And what is that there that you have, the orange thing?
Oh, it's a Thermopen, and this is really an instant read. Instant read thermometer. Some of them say instant read, but this one really is instant read. And it turns on whenever you release the pen from the side position, and it just is really nice. Says it's 75 degrees right here.
And Laurie and I have an ongoing back and forth around letting a steak rest and not letting it rest.
Yes.
So we're going to let this steak rest because that's the way Laurie likes to cook it. So what is our temperature for saying it's done enough to where then it'll come up to the temperature we want?
I'd say about 130.
130? Yeah. Okay.
You think that's too hot?
Yeah, because I think at rest, after it's rest, you want a 125 maybe. But okay, we'll go and we'll see.
Well, maybe I forgot.
No, we'll go for it. Tell me when I can take it out.
Well, it's been 4 minutes. Why don't we take it out?
Okay.
Oh.
So maybe start to give it a test.
Oh.
Are you in the center?
I think so. It's only 56.
95.
Oh, 95.
Yeah, 95. That's okay. That's why I'm here, Laurie. Okay, you can take it out, flip the steak. We'll put it back in.
Yeah.
But start to give it your little test with your tongs that you also like to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, to me, this is just about right. to take it out and let it rest. I don't know why.
So what do you want to do? Rotate it?
Oh yeah. Okay. I think it's 129.
129, yeah. So we're going to call it?
I think so.
All right. So now what we want to do.
Now this is my taste test other than my Thermometer.
Yeah. And okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to put, you want to grab it? I'll bring it over this way. Okay, and you have your tin foil.
Yeah.
And then I am going to take some of these paper towels and carefully, you want to bring that garbage can over?
Mm-hmm.
And again, we strongly suggest investing in I don't know, these are like $15 at a Home Depot or a store in your area.
What's that?
Welding gloves.
Oh yeah. Oh.
How's that?
Okay.
All right,
Good.
you're gonna put
So now we're gonna roast some asparagus while we have the oven on, and I've already seasoned the asparagus with some salt and pepper and a little bit of olive oil, but I just add a little bit more. And we're just gonna roast it, and I usually just roast it to the bright green stage.
And asparagus is one of our favorites, but if it's not asparagus, can you lift that tine up and give it to me and put it in my hand? Because these gloves, that's one thing you don't have the manual dexterity or with that. And so since we're roasting it, we want the flame to come over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then I think we want this thicker.
No, it doesn't matter. You're gonna spin it
Well,
anyway.
Okay, good. I'll put this down here. And let's see what we got going back here.
And I usually let it rest about 4 minutes. My husband, Bill, he had a job as a grill cook in the 60s or 70s, he says.
Yeah, late
and
60s.
They would take the steak directly out of the refrigerator, throw it on the grill, and serve it without letting the meat rest or anything. And I guess that's the way they did it at his restaurant in Chicago. Or maybe that was the...
Well, in fairness, what they did is they had these like metal plates that were placed in these black things that held the metal plate. They'd put it up underneath the, on the rack, and there'd be a light that's kind of keeping it warm. And it would take a couple minutes for the waitress or waiter to understand that their order was ready. Oh. So by the time it went out to the table,
it did rest then.
In a sense, it rested. It just didn't rest under tinfoil. So, okay, so now we got a nice flame coming over the top. Because I guess if you're going to roast asparagus, you need a flame.
Yeah. So sometimes just at the end, I might add some Parmesan cheese. But we're just doing it salt and pepper tonight.
Yeah, and when you see our pizza video where we kind of compare the two ovens.
Let me take a look.
Take a look? You want me to take it out?
Yeah, yeah. It's just to the nice bright green stage.
To get the flame over in the original change bore, the 12-inch, you need to adjust a flue. This one here is really cool because it just, if you have the oven door off, it just comes over the top nicely. Okay. So, okay, you want it? And again, no door, just keep it open, huh? Don't close, okay? I don't know, what, for a year and a half we cooked with propane. And that's another discussion Laurie and I always have have from time to time, propane versus wood. but I've been really getting into this cooking with wood. And
That's most men on our other pizza channel. They really like cooking with fire.
yeah, and as I said, in this cook tonight, I have about 6 briquettes in there, charcoal briquettes, and hickory wood pellets. And I started with these tumbleweed fire starters, and it turned out to be a nice fire. So, yeah, I guess it's kind of like going to a campground and, you know, having your propane fire ring is not quite the same as
A
burning
real
some
fire,
wood.
right?
You know,
Yeah.
environmental issues aside, and all those other things.
I think it's ready, Bill.
You think it's ready?
Yeah, just from the time going on. Well, I like my asparagus on
Okay.
the still al dente
So
side.
let's move a couple of things around. We don't need this
Okay.
anymore.
No.
Be careful. I'm going to move this over to here. Oh, you're going to need probably.
Here,
Oh, you
huh?
got a fork. Okay. What I want to do, Laurie, is I want to move this oil down,
Okay.
and I want to move the asparagus over to here. So if you move the standoff, and then I want to move the this cutting board into the center.
Okay.
And I don't know what we're. All right, the moment of truth.
Yes. I hope I.
Well, it is what it is, and that's why we do these things,
Oh,
because
here. I guess we do it this way, huh?
yeah, you know, because you need a starting point.
Well, maybe I overdid it. What do you think?
Well, you know, it's all about the taste too. So, the other thing that we're dealing with here is that we took this steak out yesterday morning and we let it thaw in the refrigerator, and then it's been outside the refrigerator for an hour or so. And maybe we didn't let the core of the steak come down to a good temperature.
Too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, let me take a picture.
Okay.
And for some reason, these cameras don't really get the true color. But that looks good. You want to cut a couple bite-sized pieces?
Mm-hmm.
So I hope you don't mind if we eat a little bit of the steak before we kind of close the video out.
But you notice all the juice didn't run out.
And that's because you let it rest.
Yeah, you let it rest.
Okay, she's convincing me.
Good.
It's good. Let's see how it goes with
Or asparagus.
Janet red wine from the Columbia Valley of Washington State.
Good?
You want to taste it? All right, very good, huh? So
Oh,
what?
wine is good, yes.
So what can we kind of conclude?
I think if I was going to do it again, I'd increase the outside, the temperature of the pan.
Okay,
And
so I had it about 500. Where
Yeah.
would you want it?
I think up to 6 or 7,
Okay,
so that you can sear it, let it release, flip it, and then put it back in.
okay. And maybe we try the Lodge pan that might collect a little bit more heat. Do you want to cut a couple more?
Well, I think maybe we would try some other type of chips. maybe that has a little more mesquite flavor chips. Or...
Yeah, I think a lot of people, when they do beef, and maybe this is where you can comment what you use, tend to use mesquite. I know years ago that's what I used. You put some mesquite chips in a little tinfoil pan, you wet them, and then you'd put them in your, when you're grilling things.
Actually, my favorite steak is a ribeye. But this is a little bit less fatty.
Yeah. All right, well, what we hope to show here tonight is that because with either change more, either the new 13-inch change more wood pellet outdoor pizza oven or the 12-inch change more wood pellet outdoor pizza oven, you can do a steak. You can do things other than pizza. And that's what we, I know we seared some chicken wings in the first change more we had. So we're going to do a series of things to show what you can do with the 13-inch change more wood pellet outdoor pizza oven. So
I think that with the flame coming over without having to worry about the damper being open or closed and having too much of a flame, I think it might be easier to manage. But we did make rotini, baked rotini in the change more, and that came out really well. I think you can control the temperature maybe a little bit better.
I think we actually kind of controlled the temperature in the oven tonight fairly well, between 400 and 500. At one point I put more chips in because Laurie wanted more heat, so it kind of brought it up to 600. So I think we'll learn how to fine tune that. Very enjoyable steak. The way I like it anyway, so good job there. The asparagus is very tasty. And I don't know. I'm happy with how things turned out tonight. So.
Yes, came out really well.
All right.
Okay, for our first time.
Yep. First time in the from scratch in a change more, the 13-inch change more wood pellet outdoor pizza oven. Again, we have links to both in the video description. We also have the link to the Eric Hill Rook 600 SP. Measures all the way up to 1,112 degrees if you cook that hot.
And we'll have the Thermopan, which we got.
And the Thermopan as well. All right, I think other than that, if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As
like,
always,
share, and subscribe.
And we'd like to thank you, if you're new to the channel, for dropping in, as well as all our subscribers and returning viewers. Thank you very much. We appreciate your support. Other than that,
see you next time.
See you next time.
Okay.
Very good. I like it.
I guess I just don't know how to use the Thermopan. I don't know how it had 56 or whatever it was.